guys, this is Gail Tucker, and besides teaching you week 6, I gotta show you my pet squirrel here. He's not a pet, but he lets me feed him. So, are you guys watching here? Watch this. There you go, that's Rocco. Hi all, this is Gail, and I want to do your week 6 recording from outside because it's beautiful Montana. And if you ever call and hear a dog barking, he's here right now. That's him, and his name's Wilson. So this week 6 here, you're going to be turning in a paper, and I'm sorry about last week. Sorry. I don't write the courses, I just teach them, or I would never make 2 papers due in 1 week. So I apologize for last week, but you are ever so close to being done. So the last paper is section F, the evaluation. So you have 5 different criteria here, so you're going to make 5 headers, of course, to do this with. And describe the rationale for the methods used in collecting the outcomes data. This is why I had you guys, in many reasons, but this is why I had you guys mirror your study after another existing research study. It's evidence-based. So you don't have to come up with your own methods. So I want you to use the study that you mirrored this after. Hopefully you have one or studies, and that's how you describe the rationale for the methods used in collecting the outcome data. So I need you to talk really in some statistics, use the real verbiage, and I can't even say it. Statistics wasn't my strong point. I did my dissertation because I had a statistician on my committee. He was a good friend, and he helped me out a lot. And I had statistical software as well. But you do need to talk the talk in this. I look for that. And the next, describe the ways in which the outcome measures evaluate the extent to which the project objectives. Well, in a prior section, this prior section just before this, you guys had to list objectives for your project. What are you trying to achieve? So you're going to list how you're going to measure these. You have your 1 or 2 measurable outcomes for your project, but then you also have your objectives, and you want to tell how you're going to see whether you achieve those or not. Describe the outcomes, how the outcomes will be measured and evaluated based on validity, reliability, and applicability. And you guys had some discussion questions talking about that. And so go ahead and if you need to refer back to that, refer to your text and actually talk the talk on this as well. I'd make a paragraph for each one. How your study addresses validity in one paragraph, reliability, applicability in the other. Next section is describe strategies to take if outcomes do not provide positive results. So this is if you plan this whole evidence-based project and say that your outcomes weren't what you thought. You didn't measure out what you thought you were going to do. You were going to make it so that more 40-year-olds rather than just the 50-year-olds came in for mammogram screenings. So you did an educational offering. And actually it made no change. You didn't get any more of those 40-year-olds. So this is the point where you explain maybe why that happened. Maybe you had poor attendance, maybe because of COVID. That's always a good one to blame it on. And then also what you're going to do now. Are you going to run the study for a little bit longer? Try to get out of the bands of the pandemic so that you can do this? Are you going to offer more education? Maybe try a different type of education? And then measure this, or maybe your population was wrong, or maybe your variable, something messed it up because you had an unintended variable. This is where you discuss all that. And if you look into the research studies in your literature review, you'll find discussions like this, because not always do we achieve what we want in a study, but we still have to sit there and grasp for straws sometimes and go, well, we spent all this money and all this time, what still can we gain from it? Then the last one is describe implications for the practice and future research. So of those things that you did discover in your research, which this is hypothetical, you haven't done it yet, so you're really kind of reaching out there and saying the what if. So what if your outcomes don't reach the height and depth that you intended them to? What are the implications for practice and future research once the study is done? It's hypothetical. So what other studies might spurt off of this? What other guidelines, protocols, changes in clinical practice might occur because of this? and implications for future research. What else would you like to do after you're done with this? So that there is your paper for week 6, and I wish you luck, and you're so almost there. In week 7, you're just going to put everything together. It's a cut and paste with all your revised papers, taking out any introduction and conclusions on each individual paper and just putting one for the final project, one introduction, one conclusion. And then also putting appendices, and there's several appendices, and I'm going from memory here, so check me, but timeline, budget, your conceptual model, which is a graphic that's drawn out of what change model you're using. Let's see, what else is there? Any consents that you're using, and you should have a consent for your study. If you don't have one, you can Google one and find consents for research studies and customize it. Institutional Review Board requests to go in and have your study reviewed, which you should do. You can find those online. I'm sure that I'm missing one here. Budget, timeline. Oh, your literature review table as well, which you wrote the paper on but didn't turn in the table yet. All of those are appendices that are organized in there, and you need to have all of them. So just go through each week and make sure that those are there, and then the final project, just check off that you've got each thing in there. You also have a PowerPoint that's due, and this is to prepare you, because for every type of project that you do in administration or in healthcare, you're going to have to do some type of presentation to educate people on it, to win them over, to make sure that you can go ahead and carry out the project, and also to report your results. So this is to get you in some practice on that. Okay, everybody take care, and I will see you next week, and call me if you need anything. Bye-bye.